and salutations, it's me, Salty, welcome back to 2 Cents Toys, and today I'm going over the Hasbro Marvel Legends Crossbones. I picked this up at my local Walmart, actually, for I think it was like 1985 or 1895, something like that before tax. Now, I did have this pre-ordered at my local GameStop, but with everything going on currently, it's kind of hard to go pick up pre-orders. Or I should say, pre-orders aren't really showing up the way that they should at the moment. So, I went and got this at Walmart instead. I do not have a comic book Crossbones in my collection, so this is my first one. I have the MCU one, but that's apples and oranges, so I won't be doing a comparison on that. But let's go ahead and go over the packaging. We get Crossbones, 4 guns, this Build-A-Figure arm, Crossbones at the bottom, Marvel Legends. On this side of the box, we get some artwork of Crossbones. Same artwork on the other side of the box. Top of the box just says Marvel. Bottom of the box, a bunch of legalese that no one cares about. And then on the back of the box, we get the same artwork, a little read-up about him, everyone else in the wave, Build-A-Figure, a bunch of legalese at the bottom. Now, with all that out of the way, I'm going to get him open. We'll go over the weapons, articulation, and all that kind of crap. Taking a brief moment while I was opening it, it looks like they went back to the old way of having the plastic window on the front, because they were doing that kind of clamshell deal when you pulled these out in the tray. So that's kind of interesting. Also, you get a nice little look at the background there with all the different Marvel character logos that they've used at the tops of the boxes before. As always, we go over what else is in the package first. We got these two kind of like pistol shotgun looking guns. I mean, they're identical, so I really could just show you one, but just letting you know you get 2 of them. Not a whole lot to write home about. The sculpt on them is pretty nice. They're cast in a solid glossy black. You can see little grips there on the handle, which is kind of nice. Nothing really to write home about. I'm sure we've gotten these before, but with as many Marvel Legends as we get and as many gun accessories, it's hard to keep track. Speaking of things that come in 2s, we got 2 of these kind of silver pearlescent kind of laser pistols, it looks like. Again, I'm sure we've gotten these before at some point, but they're cast in silver. They're identical. You get 2 of them. Sculpt's not bad, but, just kind of wash to bring out some details would be nice. Normally, I don't go over the bath piece. And this is a bath I was not planning on getting, but I love the translucent blue here on the forearms, and just because of that, I might track down this figure. I love this color scheme, the kind of burnt red with the turquoise. Plus, I'm thinking these arms might be nice to make a Colossus Juggernaut, so I don't know. I really don't want the rest of the figures in this wave, except for Winter Soldier, and I picked up Red Guardian on a whim, but I really don't want the rest of them, so I don't know. You let me know down below what I should do. Which of course brings us to Crossbones himself, and this is gonna sound really weird, but if you've been collecting Marvel Legends for a while, you know what I'm talking about. The arms and the plastic, it looks and feels like they went backwards. Like, it looks like they kind of went back to the old way of doing Marvel Legends, like the skin just being cast in one color with no shading and no detail, and just, I don't know, he feels kind of cheap. It feels like they went backwards with him. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like if you're familiar enough with Marvel Legends, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The sculpt, I think we've gotten this before. I think it might be the Grim Reaper body, maybe, or the maybe Omega Red. Underneath all the pads and everything. I don't know. It's hard to tell for me. But anyway, let's just go over articulation real quick. He can look all the way up. He can bury his chin. He can look side to side. Tiny amount of tilt. Shoulder spins 360 with no problem. Comes up way past 90 if you force it. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows come up at a 45. He's got wrist swivel. He can crunch forward at the waist that far. He can lean all the way back. Underneath the belt, there is a waist swivel. The belt is floating and attached to these kind of thigh holsters. So you can push it down and push them down if you need to, or push them up and push the belt up, whichever way you need it to go. He can kick forward at a 90. He can kick back a little bit. He can kick out to almost a 90. You do have to kind of work with the thigh holster though, so it doesn't put any stress on it. We got a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees come up at a 90. We got a boot swivel. Ankle goes back, forward, and an ankle rocker, of course. So one of the other kind of big complaints that I have with this figure is the weapons in the hands. These shotgun looking things are much too large to fit in these holsters. You can see here that they are not very wide at all. So if you try to put these in here, you can force them like that, but that's all the further they're going to go down, which means they're really meant for the silver pistols here. With that, since there's nowhere else to put these, the hands really aren't very receptive to this. Like, the handle is too big for the hand, and it doesn't want to really give. The hands are molded in a very firm plastic. You can get them in there, It took me a while, or not a while, but longer than it should have to fit that handle in there, and it's not going anywhere. Like it is cemented in there, but still, it's kind of a little bit of a faux pas. Like if you're gonna make the whole holsters too small to store these weapons, then make the hands big enough to accommodate. And weirdly enough, these silver pistols, it's even harder to get these into these hands because of that little kickback there on the grip. And you can see that it's that finger has to be out there just to accommodate that little kickback there. So, try to wedge him in, going to the side, and then spin him, I guess. And then there's a little silver pistol in his hand, which, despite the grip, looks really small for the rest of the figure. Overall, I would call this figure a miss. I mean, it feels cheaper, like they went backwards with the figure. I know that probably doesn't make a lot of sense saying it, but if you have it in your hands, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about, especially with the paint on the arms. There's like no shading, nothing. Kind of reminds me of the Marvel Legends from like 2015, like 2016, if that makes sense. And the accessories, basically making it to where it's a chore and a struggle to get the weapons in their hands, that's kind of a big misstep. Like, I got him just because I didn't have a comic book Crossbones for the shelf. If you already have one and you're okay with that one, I would pass on this figure. I would, unless you need the Build-A-Figure piece. I would just pass on him, or just buy the Bath piece off eBay or something, because he's really not that great. That's my opinion. I think he's passable. Like, you don't gotta get him. I mean, technically, you don't have to get any of them, but if you're a collector and you feel like you have to get one, I would try to either make your own using the MCU one, get badged with like a Punisher figure, or just buy a custom or something, because this one isn't that great. I'm going to be honest with you. Anyway, if you like these reviews, then please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know down below if this figure was a pass for you already, or if this has somehow kind of informed your decision to buy it or not. That's all I got for today. So thanks for stopping by, and until next time, I'm Salty, signing off.